Good morning, distinguished guests, colleagues, and partners. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to next year's first Development Festival. This year's convening address and what we'll be looking at will be ending poverty in Nigeria. Today we gathered to share a purpose, to think deep, to speak honestly and act boldly about the future of millions of Nigerians who remain in poverty. To start us going, we must first ask ourselves, what do I define as poverty? What does poverty question mean to me? Do we really understand what poverty is in the first place? I ask this question because the way a question is understood surely will be the way it is addressed. We only need to reflect on how we tackle poverty to be able to understand why we are where we are. If we take a look at how we've been able to address poverty since the return to democracy, we might get a sense of how we understand poverty. Now, let me do a bit of rule of thumb to show an estimate of how much we spend on trying to solve poverty from 1999 till date. Let's look at what I refer to as federal social sector spending. Can you imagine that within the 1999 till date, Nigeria has spent nearly $120 billion. States and local government spending is about between $55 to $65 billion. If we look at programs like poverty alleviation programs like NAPEP, PSHO, NSIP, and others, we tend to have spent about $25 billion. If we look at what donors and multinational agencies have contributed towards solving poverty in Nigeria, we may be looking at about between $12 and $18 billion. I mean, total, we are looking at between $200 and $225 billion. That's about 300 trillion naira. I mean, that's shocking. Let me not shock you. The shocking thing now is that in 1999, the poverty rate was 42.7%. And if you look at all this money we spent between 1999 till date, the poverty rate in 2025 is 47.2%. That shows that instead of the situation getting better, is even degenerating the more. I mean, that's a big question. Now, beyond these woeful statistics, it is worthy said that our approach to solving this poverty issue has been to throw money into them. This is definitely not the result each and every one of us sitting in this room wants to know, wants to hear, and wants to see. If we look at what Albert Einstein said, he said, we cannot solve our problem with the same thinking we had when we created them. I mean, meaning that we should be thinking about different way or different solution. Therefore, beyond our challenges, beyond where we are, has always been that we are always looking at short fix and feel-good initiatives, but not real sustainable solutions. Money alone cannot eradicate poverty in Nigeria. Neither will distribution of rice, handing out of sewing machines, or the new one, sharing of palliatives. We need to go deeper than what we are currently doing. Today's events brings like minds like you, policymakers, development partners, researchers, private sector leaders, and community voices. Together, we can explore innovative solutions, share lessons from successful interventions, and chart a practical course towards resolving this problem in Nigeria. The festival today, we tend to do a lot of things, like we shared in our concept note. One, to provide new knowledge, look at new critical thinking and insight that will lead to practical solutions and fresh perspective towards solving this complex development challenge. And again, more importantly, we are here today to push for adoption and adoption of innovative and progressive ideas, as well as technologies that can lead to new solutions and impactful initiatives. Let us make this gathering not a dialogue, but that of action. Let us make it a starting point for coordinating actions that will lift millions of Nigerians who are trapped in poverty out of poverty. Thank you for being here, and welcome to Ending Poverty in Nigeria. Thank you.